go on, the compact class is looking a lot less compact. Hi everyone, my name's Gabby.
I'm Charlotte.
And this is the 2025 Kia K4. And I'm trying so hard not to call it the Kia K5 because this thing is huge.
Absolutely.
Charlotte, this is a brand new vehicle in our lineup, right?
Yeah.
And if you didn't know by our title already, this is not the Forte. It takes on a completely different name and it has a full redesign. It's not just a rebadged Forte. There's been a lot of change to this car.
Definitely.
But Charlotte, what has remained the same? It's still in the same size class, right?
It still is, but there's a couple key differences that we get to walk you guys through today. And if you haven't already noticed, this video is live.
Yes.
So that means that this is done in real time, one chance, and we get to walk you through everything from the powertrain, the exterior, the interior, the safety, the tech, you name it, we're talking about it today.
And what's the best part about doing this live?
We get to actually interact with you guys,
Yes.
and so put your comments in the live chat if you'd like, and then also we have a dedicated time at the end of the walkthrough to answer your questions in our Q&A.
All right, shall we get right into it?
Let's go.
Okay, there's a lot of new stuff to talk about. I will say it's a bit of a blessing that this is our entry-level LX because there is so much to break down on this car. It's kind of nice to have a base model to introduce to you guys.
Definitely.
Now, I will say this is a base model technically, but there is nothing basic about this car. I say nothing loosely. There are some things that I do have a little bit of critique, but don't worry. That's the good thing about these videos. I mean, we are a dealership. We can sell you a car, but we are going to be honest about things that we like and things that we don't like.
But wait, we can sell a car?
We can sell a car. So
Can we sell this one?
Yeah, it's physically here. It's available. So we'll have the pricing and all our links in the description if you guys are interested. But let's get a little less salesy and more info-based. Taking a look at the front end first. So obviously a complete new look. There's nothing really similar to what we had on the Forte other than the fact that we still have that beautiful tiger nose, tiger face grille. So that is still giving it Kia family recognition or family. It looks like it belongs in our lineup, which is good. The headlamps are very similar to what we see on the Kia Sorento, which I absolutely love. You get that bold amber daytime running light. It's sharp. It gives a lot of road presence to this vehicle, and it makes it look even wider than it really is. Now, the width of this car, it is longer, it is wider, and it is even shorter than the Kia Forte outgoing, but it is much bigger on the inside, which Charlotte will demonstrate later. Your headlamps are going to be LED multi-reflection lamps for your main headlight unit, and then your positioning lights and your daytime running lights are going to be a full LED. Now, there are full LED projection headlamps available on higher trim levels, but again, this is an entry trim level. You no longer have to go up to get LEDs, which is a huge win. You get a little bit of body color in your front bumper here, and you may notice there is quite a bit of black plastic on this front end. This is again due to the fact that it is the LX trim, and I mean that might not be a huge seller for you guys, but don't worry, there are a ton of other options that have a little bit more intricate styling to its exterior. Now, one thing I want to highlight is this rectangular plate there. That is going to be your forward sensor. Now, this sensor does a lot, and it's so nice to see again in an introductory trim. So it's going to be your forward collision avoidance sensor, and that is going to work even in junction. So for pedestrians, cyclists, and obviously other motorized vehicles. But if you're making it a left turn at a busy intersection, this car is watching and can apply the brakes for you to mitigate a collision, which is a great safety function to have on a standard car. Another thing this vehicle is going to do is smart cruise control with stop and go. So if you do a lot of city driving, highway driving, or just traffic driving, very nice to have because it'll take you to a full and complete stop and then right back up to speed again. Love this function on my car. Very glad it is in such an easy to get trim level too. Pricing we will mention. Actually, Charlotte, do you want to give us pricing right now?
The MSRP of this vehicle is $23,995. That does not include your delivery and destination and dealer fees. That's just your suggested retail price.
And that is just under $3,000 more than the outgoing Forte LX. And I will say you get a lot more car in the K4, a lot. And I'm not just talking about the size of the vehicle. When we hop inside and you see the tech and functions that come with this vehicle at this price point, I think it's definitely worth the difference. I will also say, while the powertrain has remained the same, you get the 2-liter 4-cylinder, inline 4-cylinder with 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque. Again, nothing different than what we had last year on the Forte. But the way it uses it is even better. So although this is a bigger, heavier vehicle, it's actually rated at 5.8 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway. That is a fantastic number, a seriously fantastic number. And it's so good to see on a 4-cylinder. We don't even have to drop it down to 3 cylinders. It's 4. So great powertrain. I personally have a Forte with this exact same motor and transmission. I use it every single day, and I'm at 72,000 kilometers now. So in 2 years of driving, I've racked on that much mileage. Love the car, love the powertrain. That's all highway driving too, so high speed. I have no problem getting it up to speed, passing people. If you guys know, I have a heavy foot. All right, let's talk about the wheels. Now this is where I have a little bit of an opinion. I'll try to keep it a little bit toned down. 6-inch alloys, not really alloys. We got steely wheelies with the cover. So I would love for this to be a real alloy, but unfortunately we do not get that on the LX trim. It does start on our EX, which is a very nice design, by the way. Now, what do we say in all of our videos where we don't like the wheels?
Wheels are the easiest thing to change.
They are. So realistically, if you want to make these your rims for your winter tires, by all means, and then maybe get a set of 16-inch alloys, you certainly can. That's what I would do.
That's what I would do.
That's what I would definitely do. Nonetheless, just your traditional wheel. You do get an all-season tire, and it is a front-wheel drive vehicle. Speaking of front-wheel drive, let's also talk about the transmission on this vehicle. It is an IVT, similar to what we had on the Forte last year. So an IVT stands for Intelligent Variable Transmission, operates very similar to a CVT, minus that almost rubber band sticky feeling. I think it operates great, and you do have drive mode select in this vehicle that can tune it to be a little bit more for your preference. I personally leave my vehicle in sport mode, not just because it obviously doesn't add in any horsepower or anything, but the shift points feel a lot more what I'm in tune with and what I like in a car. So it's very nice to have that level of personalization.
Definitely.
Larger brakes in the front, ventilated discs, and then you have solid disc brakes in the rear. I saw some talk online about people asking what kind of suspension you get in the rear, if it's going to be a multi-link independent. You will get that only on the turbocharged trim levels, so not on the naturally aspirated.
Is there any option for all-wheel drive?
No, it's front-wheel drive only. So, womp womp. We also got asked about hybrids, if it's going to come as a hybrid, so no talks as of yet. Would be nice to see in the future because obviously some of the competitors on this vehicle do offer a hybrid powertrain or will, so it would make sense, just nothing confirmed as of yet. Body color, door handles with our proximity entry, so that little button on the side, nice to have. You do have keyless entry and of course push to start on this car, which is a huge win. We're finally getting rid of those keyed ignition vehicles, which I like to see. Your mirrors are also going to have body color. No turn signal indicator on this trim, and you do get a little bit of black plastic. I just want to reiterate, there's going to be quite a bit of black plastic on the exterior of this vehicle. Not necessarily a bad thing in Canada, especially around your wheel wells where we're getting a ton of salt and just road debris kicked up while you're driving. But also on the front end, plastic ain't going to rust. So there's a win right there.
No stone chips. You're good.
Here's a hot topic, the rear quarter panel of this vehicle. Check out this door handle. So it's up here, you guys. You may default to put your hand over here, but you're not getting anywhere unless you lift open and open.
Thank you for the demo.
That's how you use a door. So it's definitely different. We don't have this on any of our current vehicles other than the K4 now. Similar to kind of what we saw on the Veloster, the Hyundai Veloster that was. I don't mind it. I think it's different, but I mean, it works the way a door handle should, so I'm not mad at it.
The only thing I will say about it is, again, I'm not mad at it because I think it's fine. It is significantly higher than where a typical door handle would be, as you can see. So if you have younger kids or little kiddos, this might be an interesting obstacle, or it might honestly make no difference at all. It just depends on age, height, stuff like that.
I feel like the first couple times you try to get into the car, you might mess up and reach for here, but you'll learn eventually.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. I will say the body lines of the vehicle, now that there's no door handle there, it definitely has more of a Coke bottle look, and it really expands on the rear. So when Charlotte works her way over here, you'll definitely see the hips that this car has.
She got some wide hips.
It's a little wider in the rear, which again adds to that sporty flair, makes this car look different. What I really like about it is the fact that although it's a compact, affordable vehicle, it's not boring in the way that, I mean, it stands out on the road. If I saw this on the road, I would look back for it, you know what I mean? It's different. Here's another big win. A lot of entry-level vehicles do not have a trunk release, but this one does. So a little button right over there, allowing you to easily access your trunk. You don't have to go back to your driver's seat or find your key fob to open it. So easy access right over there. Compact sedans aren't always going to have the largest opening for your stuff in the cargo area, but this you can easily work with. You do also have the capability of folding your rear seats down, so you have 2 pull tabs to knock each corresponding side down. And a really good amount of room, very similar to what we saw in the Forte last year. Underneath the floorboard, surprise, surprise, spare tire. And seriously, surprise, surprise, the Kia Forte did not have a spare. Very nice to see one integrated with this vehicle, and there is still a ton of depth under there if you want to put anything else, like a first aid kit or any sort of additional roadside equipment. So, nice and handy. This vehicle, I mentioned the powertrain. So, 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated. 147 horse, 132 pound-feet of torque, but there is a turbocharged option too. They have not hit our dealerships yet, but Charlotte and I are going to have some very exciting videos planned for next week where we're not in Canada.
We're going on vacation, but you got to make sure that you follow us to find out what we're doing.
And we'll actually be able to drive the updated K4 in its turbocharged powertrain, so we're very excited for that. Fuel door is on the driver's side rear, of course. And fuel efficiency, it's rated 7 liters per 100 kilometers combined, but like I said, on the highway, it is classed for 5.8 liters per 100, which again is fantastic. I want to trade my Forte in for this. Such a bigger vehicle with great fuel efficiency, huge, huge win. Charlotte did mention the price, but maybe we'll take a quick look at the breakdown here. So the MSRP is $23,995 Canadian, and again, that is just under $3,000 more than the base model Forte of last year. And again, you have a much, much, much larger car with the latest and greatest tech on the inside. And I think it's going to blow you away when Charlotte shows you everything this car has on the inside. Let's do it.
Let's go. So I'm super excited because I feel like the tech that we're seeing inside this vehicle is very comparable to what we see in the base for the Sorento and the LX, where we're seeing a lot more of your favorite features already here, which is absolutely perfect. But before we give it away, you gotta keep watching. We're gonna talk about the driver's side door because we got a couple things that are different on here. So at a glance, you can see that we do have a decent amount of black plastic, a little bit of contrast here. Each of it has a little bit of like a cross hatching. This is a little bit of soft touch here too. And then for our mirrors, you can see that they are electronically controlled. And then we also have an express and obstacle detecting window for our driver's window with regular automatic for everyone else. But what's different is up by the door handles. Also, look how nice this design is you can see that we actually have our heated seats are located up here. So no longer are they in the center console. We have a lot more usable space in there. They're isolated to the side for each of the driver and the passenger too. So they'll be on the passenger side as well. For speakers, you can see down here, we've got 1 of 4. And when it comes to airbags in this vehicle, we do have 8 airbags. So decent amount for this vehicle in this size, for sure.
That's awesome, yeah.
That's absolutely phenomenal should something happen. Another thing I want to point out is how nice is this bottle holder? It doesn't have a top. That way, no matter how big your bottle is or how tall it is, it's going to fit in there.
Yeah, that's, for today's society, that's actually quite
Yeah, I know. My water bottle is massive. So guys, this is the first step in seeing how they're using that space a little bit differently. So remember, this is longer, this is wider, but it's a little bit shorter than the Forte. And how they use the space on the inside is absolutely incredible. So this is only the first little glimpse of that. When it comes to our seats, they are going to be a cloth. It'll have Gabby give a better look at them. They are height adjustable. Of course, you can slide them forward and back as well, and you can adjust your backrest. The same is going to be true on the passenger side. Same seats, both heated, same types of configuration. And then over here is just going to be your brightness adjuster. Electronic parking brake is now standard, and also your traction control. Sweet. All right, come around.
The vents look good. Very different than the almost jet.
They're very wide, eh?
Yeah, the turbine style
of the Forte.
Yeah, I like it. All right, as I come around, I'll mention a couple other safety functions that this vehicle has standard. So I told you guys about the forward collision avoidance thanks to this radar plate in the very center. I can't zoom in right now. Oh boy, there we go. But we also have lane keep and lane follow assist. So lane follow assist paired with your smart cruise control is essentially going to keep you centered in your lane and take upcoming curves, which is quite nice for driver fatigue. And lane keep is of course going to let you know when you're about to exit. All right, seats.
And we've done a video on that.
Yes, we just did a video on that actually.
Seats, they are cloth. These seats are actually incredibly comfortable, like surprisingly comfortable if I'm being honest. I also like that we have a little bit of two-tone. We have the gray insert with the black cloth surrounding and some nice cushioned headrests as well that are gonna double as a coat rack in the back, but we'll get a better look at that in a couple minutes. Okay, there you can see your configuration for it, configuring your seat.
So Charlotte, we saw some comments about why does this not come manual anymore? The only manual you're getting is your seats now.
Ah!
And the owner's manual.
And the owner's manual, obviously. But we're actually working on a podcast episode talking a little bit about that. So stay tuned for this Sunday at 10 a.m. to see it coming. But in the meantime, make sure that you stream our other ones, Trunk Talk, either here on YouTube or on any other platform, podcasting platform, to keep up to the date. Okay, let's talk about a hot topic, something I love, but most people hate. Okay, it's the steering wheel. So guys, hear me out. I actually like the off-centered logo. I do. I like asymmetry. Gabby hates it, like violently hates it. Like we might actually scrap after this. We'll see you in the parking lot. We'll be live streaming our fight. Okay, that aside, I do like it more on the two-tone interior. The steering wheel itself, it's very knobby. It's a chunky steering wheel. I don't mind the design of it. You know, I like that it doesn't really have a lot of excess spoking. It's really just thick in the middle, and that also is going to match your icon on the steering wheel. You'll see that it really does mimic the shape that we see, which is kind of cool, eh? Especially
Life
on the interior.
imitates art.
Life imitates art. But this whole steering wheel is very EV9-esque. Something you'll also notice is the fact that we have our driving controls on the left side too, similar to what we've seen in all of our EVs, but not in our gas vehicles.
They gotta stop changing this on us.
Yeah, I know. They gotta pick one, and I think that this is the sign that they finally have.
Okay.
Then over here, we do have our media control. So virtual assistant, media modes, favorites button, everything along like that. This stuff is all pretty straightforward. We've seen it before. Lighting stock, wiper stock right behind me. And then when it comes to our gauge cluster, 4.2-inch screen in the center, 4.2-inch TFT LCD, and then we have a digital speedometer, digital tachometer as well. If you want to cycle through, you can certainly see how the vehicle is going to perform in the fuel department for you and your driving habits. You can also see what safety features are enabled and your TPMS, so your tire sensors. So lots to see on there. I love this display. This is actually what I have in my car, the Sorento. It's great. It's been fantastic, but it does not compare to what we have over here. So 12.3-inch screens, standard, with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and the capacity for over-the-air updates.
Ooh.
And all of that is coming in the LX. So all of your favorite features, the most asked, the most wanted, that wireless CarPlay, it is here. And it looks absolutely fantastic. So from here, you can actually go and stream mine and Gabby's podcast wirelessly. And then if you want to take a look at what your Apple CarPlay is going to look like at a glance, you can have your maps, what you're listening to, and then also some quick controls too. But super fantastic, super responsive. I love how this looks. And then from here, of course, this is pretty standard from what we've seen in previous vehicles, but you can access all of those driver's assistance features, as Gabby mentioned, and customize them to your liking from here. So fantastic screen. I'm absolutely thrilled about this. And another thing I'm absolutely thrilled about is right here. Now this, I think, looks great. I love that we have real buttons and real dials, because we were talking about this earlier, but screens come and go. They can date a vehicle. Buttons and symmetry, as what we see here, this is going to hold the test of time, and it looks really good. I personally really like the volume roller knob. Some people do, some people don't. From here, you can see we're still going to have buttons that do what they want. Map is going to jump you into your phone's map when it is connected. And then search is the vehicle's search engine, basically, where you can search for features, contacts, everything along those lines. Media, all of this is pretty standard. And then down here in between our hazards and vents, we're going to have our climate control panel. So it's not that switchable control cluster.
I love it.
I really like this. And even if you're the driver, it's not difficult to keep your eyes on the road and reach over. Like, guys, that is such a small extension that I'm doing. This is very easy to use, and also to direct your front and rear airflow as well. Air conditioning is all there, fan speed. Very nice. I like how this is symmetrical with the increasing the speed and increasing the temperature. That looks really good to me. Down below, look at all of this space that we have. And we have all this space without having to shift by wire, which again, very nice to see. We have a USB-C port for charging, or also for connectivity, another one for charging for your passenger, and a 12-volt as well. And then lots of room here with that grippy material to hold your phone in place. Engine start stop is right here. Perfect. And I'll show you the key fob actually, because on it we do have integrated remote start.
Oh.
So you can do climate control, or turn the vehicle on from your key fob. You do have Kia Connect come standard with this vehicle. However, even if you don't want to continue with that after the 3-year subscription is over, you can still remote start it with your fob, but you can't preset the temperature like how you would with your Kia Connect. Regular gear shift, I like that it's a two-tone too, flat black and then some more gray-ish, and I think that this actually looks pretty good. We've got some satin chrome, we have some flat black plastic. I think it does look good. And from there you can have your auto hold and then also your rear view camera, which will come up, of course, as the vehicle is put into reverse. Dynamic guidelines, of course. Also, if you're doing an accessory hitch, it's there. Not rated to tow anything, of course, not like any trailers or anything along those lines. Put it back into accessory mode. That's always so humbling. I guess I don't really need to. Cup holders, guillotine style cup holders, so tons of space in here, and then they'll jut out to hold your drinks, and you can see that we actually have 2 different sizes. So nice. These will definitely fit a bigger cup, like one of those Stanleys that have the handle. That'll fit in there for sure. Covered storage space, very nice. Decent amount of space too.
Yeah.
And then up here you can see that you do have the option for emergency assistance and LED interior lighting too, which is nice to see on an introductory level trim. We don't often see LED interior lighting, but I think this looks great.
I realized I might have messed up with the drive mode select. I don't believe the LX model offers drive mode select.
Does not.
EX.
But that's why I like the off-centered steering wheel with the higher trims, because it balances it out, because we've got the drive mode select over here.
Yes.
Let's head to the back seat.
All right. Again, interesting door handle.
Thank you for the demo.
These doors are big too.
All right, let's talk about space. Let's party. It's nice back here. So you are definitely going to have a lot of space. This is, you know, compact. It's not looking so compact anymore. When you take a look back here, this is really nice. I'm looking forward to seeing the other trims to get more amenities in the back. But for amenities back here, we still have a dual USB-Cs. We have floor-mounted, so like ducts. So our typical climate control isn't going to be here, but there is still some airflow coming into the rear. It is just ducks, not geese. Don't be fooled. But overall, this is great. Like this, there's a lot of space back here. Like there's a lot of shoulder space. Middle seat is very wide as well. Now with the drive shaft, this is definitely a little bit shorter because we have this jutting out as well where the USB-Cs are, but this is, you know, it's got a comfortable amount of recline. If your friends love you, they'll let you use your leg room. But for these two main seats and the cabinet above, this is really, really nice for space. Definitely a lot bigger, very good use of the space. It's just really the middle seat, but even then, no sunroof, so the max amount of headroom you can get. Very nice. All right, should we answer some questions?
Yeah, maybe back here, I'll give you this.
Perfect.
I'll just grab the iPad, we'll share it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm curious as to what you guys think about this vehicle. Personally, there's a lot of things that I really like, but I'm also super excited. I'm just gonna turn this back. But I'm also really excited to go and see some more of the top trims. Oh, it didn't turn around. There we go. Just to see, you know, get a better feel of what the atmosphere and what the tech and what the comfort features are gonna look like from a higher price point too. I'm curious to see what that'll look like.
So what do you think are some of the biggest improvements on this vehicle based off the LX of the Forte?
I love a lot of the safety features that you get. I think that the overall cabin setup is spectacular, incredibly easy to use. I love the screen, I love the software, I love the options for customization that will come too. Like the fact that we have over-the-air updates opens it up to another world of possibility in my opinion too. So I think just that, like the space is so well done.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because you're a Forte daily driver.
So exact specs or things that weren't on the Forte that you do get in this entry trim, the push to start with remote start integrated and the Kia Connect, that's huge. That's massive. Smart cruise control, another really great thing to have. Also the lane keep and lane follow assist. I use lane follow assist every single day without fail. I don't think I could go to a car without it, so it's really nice to have it in an introductory model. We did not have that on the Forte as an option unless you went up to the EX trim. So really nice to see on an entry trim. But the software is, again, one of the biggest things. So user-friendly, so nice, so quick, and over-the-air updates are, again, very, very nice.
Does it have smart key on base? Yes, it does.
Does this take over the Forte or they're both offered? So as of right now, they're both still offered.
But you'll notice that what is offered is a 2024 Forte.
Yes.
A 2025 Forte does not exist.
No. How do you like that steering wheel?
I actually really do like it. Like I said, however, I do like it more with the Drive Mode Select being off-centered to give it a proper juxtaposition. I can't say that word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right? I do like asymmetry. Gabby hates it.
I don't like the look of the offset Kia emblem, but the rest of the steering wheel I do like. What is the sedan's towing capacity? It's not rated to tow. It's not recommended. TRD RAV4 said I wish they had a manual. We've been out of the manuals for a couple years now. Yeah, we have no manuals. The only manual option in the Kia Hyundai lineup is the Elantra N right now.
With the 6-speed.
Yep. Do you guys have a steering wheel cover on your dailies? I do not. I don't like them.
No, I have a heated steering wheel though.
Glenn says, I think they nailed the 2-spoke GT, gets a 3-spoke. Yeah, for a 2-spoke steering wheel, it did good. I understand it's harder to make a 2-spoke look good. I think it's just because of how modern they're going to look. A lot of people don't like modern. They think it's weird. But
this one's beefy though.
Yeah,
like,
it's still, it's functional. It's easy to use.
Look at that. I think it's beefy.
Yeah, flat bottom and top steering wheel. It doesn't get much more sporty than that. Okay, I'm going to scroll up a bit.
I saw a couple of people asking about the hatch. So this is not official. This is purely speculation, purely speculation. I don't think that we'll see the hatch for the 2025 lineup. However, I think it's logical to think that we will see it for the 2026 lineup. I think it'll probably be introduced about a year after. In about a year, we'll start seeing them is what I think.
I was asked if I'd prefer this or the Forte GT. If we're talking the K4 LX, I would still take the Forte GT. But if we're talking the new K4 GT Line Limited, something a little higher trim, I would take the K4, absolutely. I love my Forte, but I definitely prefer the size and updated functions of the K4. But I don't think I'm going to be trading my car in for this, though. What's the fuel consumption? Average tank mileage, 5.8 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway. 7 liters per 100 kilometers.
Combined.
Combined, yeah. We got told, Japan quake, oh my gosh, it's been so long.
Oh, welcome back.
Those headlights are unique. They're different.
They're different.
It's been a lot
like them.
since we last seen you, though.
I like the, I'm a sucker for amber deals.
Can a Forte still be ordered? I don't believe so.
I think it's just residual stock, or, yeah, I don't believe we're taking orders.
Any news on smaller EVs availability? So there's exciting things coming our way. When they'll be arriving? No idea. We're hoping to get more info probably at the Toronto Auto Show in February. But
so that means you gotta subscribe
yeah.
and stick around until then, because you guys already know that when we know something, we are gonna let you guys know.
We're gonna share it for sure.
And if we don't know it, you better believe we're gonna contribute to the rumor mill. We'll feed the speculation.
Oh. All right. Should we end off today's video?
I think we should, but we will see you guys back tomorrow at 2 p.m. So please like this video, please subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you tomorrow.
And we'll perhaps have another Kia K4.
Oh, and maybe even in a higher trim.
Maybe.
Oh, and maybe in a different color.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Snooches.
Also, if you're still watching, comment down video ideas you'd like to see, more specifically with the Kia K4, because while we have them here, we want to film them. And we want to film videos that you guys actually want to see. So let us know. Bye-bye.
Snooches. Bye.
I just saw Mercedes, please. We can't do that.
We don't, yeah. Kia babes.